Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of A related to Amazon FBA, private label, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy, and today we bring a very close friend of mine. Her name is Melanie. She's one of the partners at AVASK, which I would say is the top company out there when it comes to VAT compliance and global expansion. So the reason why I wanted to bring Melanie today is there's been so much activity lately and changes when it comes to compliance across the European region. And I know Avast is always on top of the game. They know, all the things that you as a seller have to be mindful of. So, you don't get into trouble. Melanie is going to be sharing some of those insights in terms of, what you should be aware of, what are some of the problems they're shutting down, and what some of, the best plan of actions you can take so you can have a successful selling in 2024. So, Melanie, it's a pleasure to have you in the show for the first time, actually. So finally, we made it. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing, Vincenzo? Good to be here. I mean, I'm always watching shows, and everybody has actually been, and I thought we got this point. So yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you.
I know. Every single time we saw in person, you were always putting that on my face and like Vincenzo, like I need to be in that podcast, and here we are. Finally, we made it. But definitely, it's a pleasure to have you. I know you have so much knowledge when it comes to this. When it comes at the bus, you guys really know everything and are in top of your game. So that's why I think this conversation is going to be very interesting because before going live, we were having this conversation about all the things that are changing in the Amazon space, specifically when it comes to compliance, VAT, EPR, and all those things. So I guess, to start the conversation from here, maybe we could bring as a first starting point in terms of this topic, the EPR situation, right? This is something that is becoming more and more important when it comes to expanding within
Mm.
Europe. And I feel people still is a bit uncertain about how this definitely works, right? So maybe
Yeah.
let's start with that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So we've got EPR, which is extended producer responsibility. It looks like a little tax, but it isn't. It is a contribution, environmental contribution. It's always been carried out, or it was a legislation that is there, been there for more than 15 years. And only the big manufacturers have always been compliant with that legislation. But what we are seeing is that local governments, because of the climate change pledges that they've been making, that at least by 2030 we should be 50% carbon neutral.
Hmm.
By 2050 we should be 100%. So
Wow.
there's something that needs to be done with the products that are being put in the environment. E.g., if you are an Amazon seller, that legislation now it actually impacts you. Or if you are an e-commerce seller, you are deemed as the manufacturer because you are a reseller of that product. So, which is why that we need to be careful of. And I think it's more about pricing of your product.
Exactly.
So,
Hmm.
and I know that there's a lot of marketplaces that are driving down the prices. So, which means you have to always remain competitive. I feel like Vincenzo EPR is taking us back to 2016, whereby not
Hmm.
every seller that was launching their products in the e-commerce marketplace was actually compliant. And
Exactly.
all of a sudden, we sort of like not playing on a plain level field. If you are, of course, trading or have launched products on Amazon, you definitely going to be EPR registered. But we're seeing more and more platforms that are coming in, the likes of Temu. The question is there any compliance that is actually going on with those platforms? And these are the platforms that impact my client, my friend, or whosoever that is actually in our e-commerce space. So it's becoming a bit of it's bringing in a bit of an unfair competition, but the unfair competition, it's just not on platforms like Amazon, because Amazon are ensuring that everybody that is trading on their platform is compliant. So I would say that from a seller's point of view, I would say just ensure that your pricing caters for those changes that are happening. And also it's knowing that countries like Germany and France, they are enforcing EPR. So we're
Exactly.
going to be seeing UK and more countries in Europe really enforcing it in 2025. So it's just being aware as far as like, what is it that you've got to do? But from a seller point of view, I don't need my clients to know about the whole legislation. I will say top level information about how we can actually support them. But for them, most importantly, I want them to be careful about their pricing, how
Yeah.
they price their product. The
Yeah.
likes of Temu and Shein that are sort of like, I don't believe that they are compliant at all. It'll be interesting to see that the products that they are putting in the environment, are they actually compliant?
Exactly.
Are they putting them out there and being registered with each and every I would say category that exists on
Exactly.
EPR? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say also I like what you mentioned around the pricing side of things, because I also think EPR to some extent is gonna allow us to first of all create a new baseline in terms of what are the standards we need to deliver at as a business in terms of the product we give to our consumer. But on
Mhm.
top of that, it's gonna allow to reduce the situation that we've been experiencing on Amazon, that sometimes you're having a successful journey in Amazon, and then you get undercut by other manufacturers that they're definitely not having products done in the correct way. They're not using the right materials. They're really not caring about the environment, and that's why they're really aggressive when it comes to pricing, because given the methodology, which is not the right one, they're able to do on a cheaper way. So I think to some extent that's so it's going to be good for Amazon sellers. It's going to remove a lot of people that have been doing things not the right way, and it's going to make sure that people that are actually manufacturing products with the right compliance in mind are going to be able to keep scaling their business on Amazon.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. We've also got the GPSR, which is the EU
yeah,
Responsible Person and Product Compliance, which is also one of those things that people that are selling on Amazon, they need to be aware of. And again, that is another impact. And I think for me, everything goes back to pricing. The fact that if you are going to be doing more as a business, what are the things that you've got to do? And of course, there's price impact on that. So
yeah,
again, it's circling back to say that yes, there may be other platforms that are coming up that have got cheaper products, but I think for us, we are advocates of being compliant and doing things the right way. So flagging those companies that are giving an unfair competition to those businesses that are compliant, that is our job. But also, I've got no doubts that the EU authorities, they will be clamping down on some of those marketplaces that are not being compliant. But I
yeah,
would say that from a compliance point of view, Amazon is a platform of choice. If you want to have a long-term business, you just need to make sure that from a seller point of view, you're pricing your product and also knowing exactly how GPSR is going to be affecting you in product compliance. And which means you need to speak to manufacturers as well to sort of like
yeah.
scale up the production and making sure that the products that they are putting out in the environment, they are environmentally friendly, and also they meet the standards that especially Europe and the UK requires.
Yeah, super important. Now, when it comes to expanding to Europe, the confusion I've been getting a lot from sellers lately is how to figure out the VAT side of things, because unfortunately we get so many inputs from so many sources. Some people don't really know if they have to do registration of VAT in every single country, or they have to go and implement the OSS scheme. So high level, of course, because this can get very technical very fast. Like, what are some of your insights when it comes to that, in terms of what are the latest when it comes to the updates, and what are some of your recommendations for Amazon sellers to mitigate that?
So my take on VAT is that platforms like Amazon, of course, they talk about that you can be in the PEN EU the program with one VAT number or two VAT numbers. What sellers needs to understand is that when we're talking about compliance and Amazon is telling you that it's one VAT number or two VAT numbers, it's called code of stock, which is something that a program that they've stopped now. You need to just ensure or to think about the fact that that is an Amazon program, that is not law, that is not the legislation. So that's not what you have to do. And Amazon makes it clear to their sellers that they are not a VAT compliance company, and you need to contact your advisor to make sure that they guide you through what's actually required. For you to be able to store your product in a country, you need to make sure that you've got a VAT number. So if you're going to be storing the product in a country, you have to make sure that there is a VAT number in place. And if you are going to be distance selling of the product, then that's absolutely fine. You will
Mhm.
need the VAT number, one VAT number in the country whereby you're going to be storing your product. It's as simple as that. But as you know, that in Europe, we want
Yeah,
to have access to products very, very quick. So if
I
you're going to be
know.
storing it only in Germany and I am in France, then
Yeah.
it's going to take a couple of days for the product to reach the destination. So it's making sure that you've got the product available in that country. But also, where multiple VAT numbers help you, it's where you could actually have access to local platforms. And this is one
Mm,
error that I think, or sellers probably miss because they're busy. They've got other jobs that they're actually doing. The focus has always been the fact that I need to make sure that I launch on Amazon. Amazon is a great platform, and it's a great starting point for anybody that wants to scale pretty quickly. But there is also local or national platforms that you need to make sure that you are launching in, especially if you're going to be coming in with multiple VAT numbers.
mm,
So if I've got a VAT number in France, then why can't I actually launch in another platform like
exactly.
Cdiscount? If
Mm,
I've got a VAT number in Germany, again, I need to make sure that there is Germany's got actually more local platforms than other countries. So look at the local national platforms. We've got sellers that are registered in Poland in particular. It's a smaller market of Amazon. So again, Allegro is a fantastic platform and it's expanding to the Czech Republic. So again, I have got sellers that have got, the database that I have, I've got more than 3,000
yeah.
VAT numbers in Czech Republic. And if you think about it, that's 3,000 sellers. Why aren't they not compliant? Or why are they not launching in a platform like
I
Allegro,
know. I know.
who's expanded to Czech Republic? So there is a lot of opportunities that are there. It's good to look at Amazon programs, but think about the
The future.
local. Yeah, think about the future. Think about the local platforms that probably there's lots of people that don't buy on Amazon in Poland and they
Yeah.
favor Allegro. So why are you not launching on Allegro platform? So there's a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities for sellers, but at the end of the day, the place where you store your products, that's what actually matters most. So you
Yeah.
need to make sure that you've got a VAT number in that country. Whether
Yeah.
you're under the Pan EU program, whether that is an Amazon program or
And not.
it's
Yeah.
outside Amazon program, I would always say think beyond Amazon, what Amazon is giving you, and look at other platforms that are there.
That's right. Yeah, and I love that you're mentioning these other platforms because I think one of the most important struggles people are been having is that if you put all your eggs in the same basket, which is only Amazon, and then things start to get competitive, or you start having a complex with dealing with their fees and everything. That's your only source of revenue. The fact that you have so many other marketplaces and you can diversify, I think that's a huge thing, especially in today's age. Like, I feel you need to have multiple sources of revenue to your business because, I mean, let's be honest, things are sometimes so unstable that you cannot rely only on one, right? And Europe is perfect for that. There are so many marketplaces, so many ways that you can, create your different audiences. And it's cool that you also, pushing that and mentioning what is the benefit of, having all these VAT compliance around that.
Yeah.
Now, talking about diversification, some of the things I also wanted to get your take into is how you feel when it comes to Europe. Beside these other platforms, people should be strategizing their expansion maybe to other regions, and we can talk this high level just for people to be mindful of what is usually the next step. Like, why do you think diversification, besides the things I just say, are important for Amazon business? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say from a diversification point of view, you are taking advantage. There's just one point that I missed was TikTok.
Yes, important. Yeah.
TikTok is another very exciting platform. It's launched in the UK, it's launched in the US. I think there is Spain. It's either launch or it's launching in Spain, but Spain, I know that it's going to be probably
Yeah,
maybe one of the next a big
that's
one.
correct.
I am very, very excited about TikTok. And the reason why I'm excited about it is because everybody knows that platform, but people like me that are older, they think that TikTok is still a dance platform that they saw during COVID,
I know.
whereas there is so much that is actually going on that platform. So I'm excited about the launch of that platform because I just see it like it's going to be one of the platforms of choice from people buying products from. And there was news of TikTok and Amazon collaborating this week or
Yeah,
last
that's
week.
big. Yeah, that you essentially can run ads now on TikTok. So that's gonna be game changer. Yeah.
I think for agencies like yourself, Vincenzo, you
Yeah,
feel like, I've always focused on Amazon. You're going to have to sort of like look at
I
diversifying now
know.
as well and sort of like getting to other spaces,
Yeah,
it's not only just products and sellers that needs to diversify. I
it's
feel like
services. Yeah,
it's everyone that is in business right now is that you're
which I
going
like
to,
it. I
yeah.
think it's cool. It pushes to go beyond our boundaries, and I feel sometimes in the Amazon space we've been too comfortable thinking that Amazon is the only way to do business when it comes to e-commerce and services. So I think it's good that there's some other big players coming to the play into the space and creating a new battleground for things to evolve. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you really need to get in there and be a TikTok as experts because your clients, even yourself, they will be wanting that service and
Exactly.
just see how you can actually launch them on TikTok. And also I think they've seen that the marketplace is ramping up in the UK. They are increasing their commission. Is it commission fees?
Yes,
Um,
that's
uh,
correct. Mhm.
yeah, to something like 9%. So again, I think the market is actually preparing to take off. I've got clients that are selling on that platform. At the moment, the people that I know that are selling on the platform, they're having a tremendous time.
Yeah.
I've got clients that are located in Europe that have incorporated companies
Mm,
in the US, and they've launched themselves under that platform. I think
yeah,
what I like about TikTok is the localization that they are actually doing. So,
that's
which
right.
means that for you to be able to launch on TikTok, you must have a company incorporated in that country.
Mhm. Yes.
But then again, this week, there was a bit of a spanner in the works that was thrown in by Companies House. Companies House is where companies are being incorporated in the UK.
Yeah.
So, what they've said is that you need to be established in the country for you to be able to trade. So, which means that
Wow.
it's no longer service addresses that are going to be required. So you need to show proof a utility bill. I don't know. I don't know whether you remember in January there was the huge closures of Amazon
I
accounts
remember. Yeah.
because
Mhm.
exactly. So that was the DAC 7 rules, which is DAC-7 rules that were implemented, which means that marketplaces needed to do a KYC for each and every seller that has launched on their platforms. So because of that, this is why we are seeing that Companies House now, they are sort of like clamping down. So in the UK, for those that are here in the UK or that have incorporated a company, you can get a company incorporated. You could have got a company incorporated within a couple of days. Now it's taking longer because there is more KYC that is actually being done. So again, this is going to sort of like I would say that probably it's a topic that we need to talk about more and have a
Yeah.
dedicated webinar for it, because there is a lot of American sellers that have actually incorporated companies here in the UK. So we need to discuss more on how it's going to be impacting those people. So we will be reaching out to our clients to see exactly as far as like how we can actually support them further. What is it that they've got to do? Because I know it's a new law that is being recently implemented. and Companies House have said that there will be penalties that are going to be
Yeah,
applied for
as
those
usual.
for those directors. So yeah, there is just so much that is actually coming, that's going on in
I
our
know.
market and in
I
our
know. It's a
e-commerce
lot.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. And something I wanted to actually bring to the table to start concluding is, the news you just gave me before going live, which is the Amazon Visa program shutting down. Like, I think that would be a perfect last topic to use to finish today's episode, because I mean that's gonna affect a lot of sellers. Um, I don't know what is gonna happen. So tell me a little bit about, what are some of your insights of what is gonna happen next with that.
So I didn't bring a box of tissue, but it is it is I think when you're part of a program, and we've been a part of the visa program for quite a few years, and we are currently sunsetting on that product, so program, which means the program is coming to an end. So that is VAT on Amazon. It is a program that has been favored by a lot of sellers, because Amazon made the program more affordable, especially for the sellers that are sort of like starting out
Exactly.
in the marketplace. So it's had the lowest fees, and I would say that it's been less than, I think, less than 500
Yeah, it
euros,
was super,
yeah,
super
per
cheap. Yeah.
country. And it's made things easier for smaller sellers jumping in. But we the tax advisors have been at the back of the engine of that program. So, but from a seller point of view, they like it because they go into Amazon dashboard, and it looks like
Yeah, exactly.
Amazon that's providing the VAT service. So we've been using those systems of Amazon, and also supporting the sellers at the back end of that program. Now, from a change point of view, Amazon is no longer going to be providing that program. So that program is ending on the 30th, I want to say the 30th of September.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah.
It's very, very soon. So, which means that sellers will have to make sure that also they remain compliant. I think what Amazon wants to do, I don't want to talk on Amazon's behalf, but I think from a compliance point of view, Amazon wants sellers to remain compliant on everything that they do.
Mhm.
So what's happening? They're being deboarded off the Amazon program, and that is absolutely huge news, because there is thousands of sellers out there
Wow. Yeah.
that are no longer going to be part of the program. But luckily, we as a company, we've been part of that program for many years, and
Mm.
we have the sellers that are signed up under the program under us with Amazon. The transition is simple, because they are
Nice.
literally deboarding from an Amazon system for VAT
Third party in
calculation.
this case, AVASK. Yeah.
Exactly. So they are just
Mm.
deboarding from the Amazon program,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
are coming in straight through into AVASK systems. So which means that there's no changes on POA. There isn't a lot of changes for them. I think the sellers that are sort of like maybe going to have issues are the ones that are going to be looking for a new home, which means that you
Yeah.
need to make sure that you sign new POAs,
Exactly.
you engage with a new agent. So things will change for you. We are lucky from our side is that most of our VAT calculation is actually automated. So we connect with a couple of marketplaces as well. So which
Cool.
means from a seller point of view, they will be in a better place, I would say. Definitely, it's going
Cool.
to be super helpful for them to be able to communicate directly with the provider, instead of having a third party involved, which is Amazon, which is something that has actually been happening. So I'm really, really excited about that. The fact that we're going to be able to communicate with sellers directly, but at the same time, it's sort of like a bit of a bittersweet end
Yeah.
of the program, because we've got teams that have always worked with Amazon, and
Yeah.
they sort of like they felt part of
Of something. Yeah. And now it's going
yeah.
down. Yeah.
And then I've
Yeah.
always said that our team that have been working on the program, they work more with Amazon. They've been working more with Amazon than the
That
AVASK team.
yourself.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why it's a bit of a bittersweet ending that we are seeing. But at the same time, and I know that sellers will be receiving letters from Amazon as from this week, So I would say reach out to us if you sort of like really are confused and don't know what to do. I'm gonna actually form a WhatsApp group at the back
Right.
of this. It'd be great if you can
I'm gonna
actually
put
share it.
information down in the description so people can join.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So I'll create a WhatsApp group, and people can actually ask all the questions and things of what they're supposed to do, because it is distressing, because you've got an ending of a program, but also at the same time the platform is asking you to remain compliant, and
Yeah.
if you're not compliant, you will be shut down. It's as simple as that. So,
Yeah.
which means that yeah, there is a lot that we've got to do, but like I say, bittersweet, here to
Yeah.
support anybody that is actually confused when they receive the letter in particular. It's a long letter. So
Yeah. As
let,
usual.
let's make it succinct for you, and sort of like make sure that you are being supported by this. So yeah, thank you for actually just bringing that up, because it's
Yeah.
one of the most
It's
important
huge.
announcements,
It's
I
a
would say.
huge change. Yeah, it's huge. So I would say, Melanie, I mean, it's always great experience talking to you. You know, you have so much wisdom in the space, and thank you for being on the show. I'm sure this is gonna be the first of many, because the space when it comes to VAT and compliance keeps evolving, specifically Europe. So it's always great to have you close and get some of your insights so we can add as much value back to the community. So, other than that, Melanie, in case somebody wanna reach out to you or get in touch with AVASK, where people can find you.
Yeah, so I would turn around and say, oh, it's we are in oh, we are located all over the place, but I'm in Southampton office today, which is absolutely awesome. So I would say that they can find us on avasgroup.com. They can find us on LinkedIn. They can find us on Facebook. They can find us on WhatsApp. So there's going to be a WhatsApp link
Okay,
that Vincent
down
is going
below.
to be putting through. And that one WhatsApp link, I want people to actually use it, especially with the visa program, or if they are coming across any snags, and be able to answer those questions. I am also on social media. So if you want us to connect on Facebook, you want us to connect on LinkedIn, please ensure that you find me, Melanie V Shabangu. I think I go with the name of Kataris, so my married surname on Facebook. So yeah, you can be able to find me there. So yeah, let's get talking. Yeah, really,
Yeah,
really excited
thank
about
you.
this intent. So thank you so much for
Pleasure as
having me.
usual. Pleasure.
And I would say that also, just maybe one last piece of information.
Yes.
So September, very, very soon, we are going to be in Seattle at the Amazon Accelerate. For
Yes.
anybody that has never been to that event, I would say do attend it. You'd be surprised on how available Amazon staff are. They
Yeah.
actually are there, even seller support. They
Yeah,
are
the
there
top
to,
people is there. Yeah.
yeah, they are there to resolve issues. I think this is the third year we are actually going to that event. Honestly, I'm not promoting it for the sake of, if you really want to have Amazon sellers in one room in that event, you don't just subscribe to it. You have to have an Amazon merchant token, a seller token. So please, 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 if you can make it to spend that $599, do it. It's
Yeah. It's
worth it,
amazing. Yeah.
especially if you've had a lot of issues with your Amazon seller account. I would say that it's going to be honestly a great event. And of course, I have got a booth, 104. So when you're coming through the entrance of
Find
Accelerate,
us.
Avask is going to be there. So we can sort out all your visa issues as well, or all your global expansion issues. Come and
Love
talk
it.
to us live. So really excited about that.
Thank you, Melanie. Pleasure to have you on. Looking forward to see you on Accelerate then. Yeah. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
one.
Yes, I'll see you there. I'll see you there. There's also a Helium 10 event. I think it's going to be on the Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
So definitely check out also, because it's just not going to be Accelerate only. There's
It's
other little
multiple
events.
events. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And we've got one that we are doing with the Titan Network as well. So I would turn around and say, and those events are actually free.
Hmm.
So again, one thing that I would say is that you don't have to worry about the fact that I'm going to have to buy food, I'm going to buy a drink. This is the only time Amazon pays for your food, your meal,
So you
and
can
also
miss it.
the drink. You can drink as much as you want. And they
Yeah,
do one
yeah.
of the, so for the closure, we have one of the biggest parties. They are so much fun.
I
They are,
know. I know.
they treat us so well. Honestly, if you feel like Amazon is taking your money and you don't get anything
Go there
from
and get
them,
your payback.
yeah, this is your time. I'll see you guys at Amazon Accelerate.
Thank you. See you, Melanie. Bye bye.
Thank you, Vincenzo. Thank you.